charging your e-bill, and it's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. We can't hear you, Mike.
We still can't hear him.
So I watched a couple years of your stand-up.
Oh, sorry about that.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, what the
There he
fuck?
is.
Why would you do
There
that
we
to
are.
me?
Yeah, why would you do that to us? By the way, we are recording right now. We are sitting with, what are you, 5-time Emmy Award winner now?
Yeah, I'm a very big deal.
Oh, damn, dude. I
I'm
had
a
no
big
idea.
deal.
I just thought you were a stand-up comic, but shit, you did
That
sports
was
broadcasting.
that was my previous life, and it sounds so much cooler than it is. So we'll just run with that.
So when did you win these Emmys? Because I couldn't find the information on the year, but I knew you won.
Are you implying that I made this up?
Yeah, I need to see them.
Oh,
No, I'm
good
just-
call.
We need a timeline and paperwork.
It's a verification. I could show you a trophy, which I could have bought at a garage sale. It's actually back when I was a sportscaster, and the first one was "This is how old I." This might have been before you guys were born.
Oh, shit.
The first one was in '97, and then I won a few in the early 2000s.
Okay, I was born in '92.
And there it is. There it is.
I'm like, you don't look as old as I think you might be.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
Which is concerning.
That is a backhanded compliment.
That
if I
really is. I got to tell you, that was expertly done. Whether it was on purpose or not, impressive.
No, you look great.
No, go on.
See,
I actually, and this shocks me too, I actually just turned 60.
What?
But I'm incredibly immature.
Yeah, I mean, I thought,
So
like, by the way you act, I thought you were in your 40s.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought you were like maybe 46.
No, go early 40. Just make me feel better. Actually, no.
Right.
That's
42?
what's so funny is you get older because, you know, it's not like, well, obviously I'm much older than you guys and like my parents' generation, but you know, my parents' generation, you could see them age.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people my age that I have no idea because people not in for the there are a lot of people that actually take care of themselves more and are more active. And I think you can stay young by crying a lot. I think the moisture like helps my skin.
Yeah.
Yes, it helps my skin.
See,
that's why I look so great.
That makes a lot of sense because look at all the celebrities that suffer from depression and they still look young as fuck, like Jim Carrey and Robin Williams.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is people don't talk about the positives of depression enough.
Bro, don't.
Which I think you just started a whole new thing. I'm not taking credit for that. That is all you.
Yeah.
Bro, I love your self-deprecation humor, by the way. Like, that's the kind of humor that I'm into. Like, I love it. And I'm also into kind of darker humor. But what comedians, like, what made you decide to go from, I'm a sports broadcaster. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do comedy. Like, what?
I know this answer.
Well, hold on. Before you get to that, and I'll let you do it, is I was always jealous of comedians when I was starting, but I was terrified of it because I knew I could be like funny with my friends, but I didn't know if I could go on stage without that. Yeah. And so I was always scared to do it. And then I was like, well, I have a really cool career. I'm not going to do this on the side. It'll mess with my credibility. And then something happened. Pink?
He got fired.
There we go.
I didn't want to bring back PTSD, but
right. I was waiting for that. I was like, I know this fucking answer.
See, and what's cool is I knew you were going to nail it.
So yeah.
Is it true? Is that story true about your former boss giving you the homeless kit, or was that just a joke?
It was semi a joke. They actually did give me that as a gift. It was Crown instead of Jack, but Jack is more notable. I said on stage, and we were laughing. And I can't remember if it was he or I that said it's a homeless starter kit, and we're just like, that's hysterical. And I used to say it on stage that it was he that said it. I think it must have been him that said it, but people thought it was me. So I had to change it to me saying it. But yeah, a homeless starter kit. It was hysterical.
That's kind of reminiscent.
Crown is Canadian, isn't it?
Yeah. What? And it's actually a
what
ride.
The fuck?
Wow,
why
look
is
at you.
Why is that homeless? I'm Canadian. I'm sitting here in Ontario right
Bill
now.
is just jealous. Y'all have health insurance, and we deserve.
I got to tell you, every time I've been to Canada, You guys have fulfilled every damn stereotype. It's amazing. It's like I worked in Toronto, and it's like the train was clean. Uh,
Yeah.
all the
Clean.
signs, like the digital boards about your stops, they all worked. You could hear the announcements. Then I had to drive back the second day of working. People are letting me merge in traffic during rush hour. You call yourselves a city?
I taught Mike how to Canadian smile at each other.
Wait, I've never heard of
Yeah.
that.
That's a Canadian smile.
Yeah, you gotta hide your lips and you go at each other when you walk, like pass by. Everybody does it. You
I
walk
told
pass by someone, make eye contact, and go,
I told her in the States we just do this. We just
yeah,
There was actually, because I'm such a suburban geek. I grew up in Ohio and moved. I wanted to move to New York, but you can't really keep your car, so I'm just on the outskirts in North Jersey. And one of the first times I was in Manhattan, I'm actually at Penn Station. I'm standing on the corner. I'm trying to figure out where I'm going, and some guy's walking towards me, talking to himself. Which fine, I do that too. And then he just pushes me and keeps walking. I'm like, oh my god, I made it. I'm a New Yorker.
That's fucking hilarious. I actually live in
as a
Ohio.
Canadian.
Born and
Oh,
raised.
I'm sorry.
I'm Ohio born and raised, bro.
Oh, where?
I live in Belmont County. I live close to the West Virginia border.
Oh, okay.
I live
All
close
right.
to Wheeling.
I've been through
Like you can
many a
hear the
time.
sheep screaming from across the border. Like, you can, like it's one of them closenesses.
I actually worked in West
Nice.
Virginia for a little while.
Oh, you did? What was that like?
I actually talk about it on stage. I worked at this TV station where no matter what job you had, you started at $12,000 a year. So, like, I was the morning news anchor, and I qualified for food stamps. It was like,
Wow.
I know, I was like food stamp Matt Lauer,
That is fucking hilarious. That is a good
which,
claim to fame. That should be on
yeah,
your
yeah,
resume.
yeah. Unlike Matt Lauer, I couldn't afford to sexually harass. Uh, but I
You
gotta
know,
tell you, it was
I feel
really
like I
beautiful.
still can't.
Maybe it's
you're not
that weird smile you do.
you're not Vince McMahon. You can't get away with that shit.
Oh, nice. Well, that's the thing about sexual assault and harassment. It's timeless. Just
Yeah.
when you think one reference is old, another one pops up.
Yeah, it's weird, but some get like the ones that really confuse me though, and I'm not condoning it at all, but I hate when they compare people to huge problems like Harvey Weinstein. Like they compared Louis C.K., stand-up comic, to Harvey Weinstein because he jerked off in front of somebody. Like,
Right.
well, there's got to be a level to your career. Like his career shouldn't have been canceled. He just fucked up.
So now you want to rate sexual harassment? We're learning a
No,
lot about you. The positives of depression, the sexual
well, no.
harassment standings.
No, with him. No, with Louis C.K. though. Think about it though. All he did was ask permission. They said yes because they thought he was joking, and he jerked off because he thought they were.
Well, but here's the deal. And a friend of mine didn't understand why it was such a big deal, and he asked me about it. And the problem is, well, among the problems, one of the problems, and I really respect Louis, well, his comedy. Uh,
Yeah.
but one of the problems is if someone as powerful as Louis doesn't like you, clubs can basically be like, we're not going to hire you because they don't want to piss him off. And
Well,
I don't know if that would have happened, but that was the thing about why didn't she just say no or whatever. It's like, because if you say that, that can actually affect your living,
see,
which
I
is
see
kind of
that
weird,
side.
but it actually is true. It can happen.
See, I see that side of things too. Like I'm not condoning what Louis did at all. It's just I wasn't there, so I don't really know him that much of as a person.
So it's hard for you to rank him on
Yeah.
the sexual harassment hierarchy
Yeah. Well,
without being there.
yeah, without being there because it's is it really
I
like
didn't see how fast he was jerking it.
if it was
So
no, if
was
it
there a
was
rash?
okay, if
Was
if
there a rash?
if it was
Not
the
enough
case,
people have asked that. We
did he have
keep
a
cutting
rash?
off Mike. How long should we do this
I
where we
know.
talk
I'm
over him and
sorry.
ruin
I'll
this for
shut
him?
up.
What did
I'll do it.
but do you think his career should have been ruined over that though, as compared to everyone else?
I don't think it was ruined. I mean, it's BS how I mean because he's coming back, and that's what usually happens is
Mhm.
someone takes a hit and then it wanes and they come back. And I don't know. I mean, it's kind of funny. There's this club in Seattle that they had like three comedians that they had booked. I just saw this post on social media, which is always trustworthy.
Yes.
Uh, but the club sent this email to one of the comedians who I'm semi friends with. I love the guy, and basically said they were pulling his week off because some people in the community had complained about these three comedians not reflecting the community's values, blah 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 blah.
Mhm.
And all these people are pissed and saying this is censorship, this is, wrong, this is wokeness, blah 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 blah, on and on. And I'm like, actually it isn't. It's like,
Right.
okay, any business has the right to hire and not hire who they want. There are clubs that you're going to find this hard to believe that don't hire me. I know. uh
You're like as clean as they come. You don't even have
well,
one
but
STD.
get this, some people don't find me funny. Shocking. Okay, a lot of people don't find me funny, but that's not the point. Uh, the point is, what's wrong with this is a business can hire or not hire whoever they want. Every business does it. Every business, that's the way they run. But the problem I have with it is they hired him and then pulled it back. It's like, well, then
Yes.
why did you hire him?
Like you knew his
It's
comedy and you knew who he was
exactly.
as
You're
a
a
person.
booker. You know how this works. So I'm hoping that monetarily they made it up to him. I mean, they did it with pretty advanced notice from what I think. But I hope it's like, hey, we screwed up. Here's at least 50% of your pay, something,
Well,
rather than just, hey, you're out of luck.
do you think he got the punishment that he got because that was around the same time as the whole Bill Cosby thing?
Louis?
Yeah, it was around the same
Um,
time.
I don't know. I mean, what punishment did he actually get?
He no longer has a Netflix deal.
Okay, so Netflix pulled out.
Mhm.
Um, but clubs eventually started booking him. The Netflix thing has to hurt, but I think that's kind of where. Are you sure it was Netflix? Because he was sending out stuff on his own. He's one of the first kind of that really changed the industry. He's like, I don't need these middlemen. I'm putting this stuff out on my own stuff, and he was getting the profits directly.
And
So was it a
and
Netflix thing? I don't know.
it
Honestly,
might have
don't.
been. I'm not sure because I wouldn't think Netflix would because the whole Dave Chappelle thing, everyone tried canceling him, and Netflix is like, "We're keeping him."
Well, there gets to a point where I don't know if you're cancelable,
True.
especially if it's like Chappelle's thing was words and jokes
Not crimes that he committed.
rather than an act. And
Yeah.
so I think Bill Burr is like one of my absolute favorites. Would always talk about um, the reaction to the reaction rather than the reaction. It's like so many people overreact to some people being upset,
Yeah.
and it's like, okay, people are always upset about everything, and they always have been back way before you kids. Um,
Yeah.
when I was a kid and someone got upset at something, you'd see like it'd be on the news because people
Yeah.
used to watch TV, and
What the fuck's
they'd be like,
TV?
or in the newspaper, and you may have seen those, but people are like, oh, this is bullshit, whatever, and I'm going to write a letter to the editor, and then they eat dinner, they do whatever, and they're like, screw it.
Yeah.
Or if you'd read like the editorial page, it would always be people either directly affected with whatever the subject was, or senior citizens because they had time to actually bitch. So people have always been offended, but now it takes nothing for my voice to be out there.
Well, you know what's crazy though, Bill? Cancel culture back in the day was very different because you had comedians like Lenny Bruce and George Carlin and Richard Pryor who got arrested for jokes they
Exactly.
told. They got fucking arrested by the government for jokes they told.
Yeah. And there's actually this, gosh, what's the guy's name? Cliff something, but he wrote this book, and it's basically about the history of comedy and whatever. And it's so much is covered in cancel culture. And he's like, look, this has been happening forever,
Yeah.
using some of the examples you just used, even back to like vaudeville and Milton Berle and his monstrous cock. I just threw that in. But anyway, yeah,
Feel
it's
like
been
I
going
know
on
that
forever.
for a fact.
Now that
But
I know who he is now that you said that.
well, I wanted to put it in terms you would understand.
Yeah.
So
See, the thing about Carlin though, going back to them comics, man, they was really pushing the boundaries for the time. Like
sure,
George was like told, "You are not allowed to say these on stage," and then they had cops waiting for him when he got
I
off
know.
because he did it anyway.
How crazy is that? But
Like,
now,
That's
yeah,
insane.
so it's been going on forever. Big deal.
I
You
think
know.
that's what me and you need to do because I also do stand up comedy. You're funnier than me, but
Oh man, you must be bad.
Me and you need to do a show together and get arrested. That's how our career's going to take
You
off.
know what? That might, yeah. Although, do we know anyone that'll bail us out?
No, dude, we can become.
That was a hint to our Canadian friend who's covering her face.
I was like,
You ain't spending all your
I'm
money on
poor.
health
Come on, the
insurance.
Canadian dollar's worth more. We're a bargain.
That would work.
Is it? I think you
I
guys
think
are
it is,
worth
yeah.
more.
Is
Yeah.
it? I thought you were worth
Yeah.
more.
We
All
have to
right, we'll come
spend
up
all.
there and get arrested. That'll
We
be
have
an
to,
international incident.
There we go.
we have to spend
Perfect.
all of
And
our
you can
money
stay
on
at my house after.
There we go.
dude.
If you want to
So,
save time, just put bars in one of your rooms.
so I do have a question. I
I'll
do
just
have.
put you in my dungeon.
I do have.
Sorry, what?
Ooh, you have a
Ooh, that was
dungeon?
intriguing.
Maybe.
Pink has a dungeon.
I
Let's
have
go.
a sex swing. I have like weird things.
That's not weird.
I've lived a life, let me tell you.
Sex swings
A
aren't
swing
weird.
in the dungeon. All right, so we got a theme. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not one to kink shame, but Jeffrey Dahmer, Jesus Christ, am I right? That guy was into some shit, wasn't he? Holy.
I don't think that was a leap from where we were talking at all, but all right. Is there anything else you
Yeah.
want to talk about
You're
there, Mike?
like, oh, cannibalism? Sure.
Like, I don't know. Like,
Sex swing,
like
cannibalism. You see the connection.
Yeah, it's the same thing. You eat people,
yeah,
right? So
All right.
it's fine. I eat
I think the issue
girls.
I think the issue was is he misunderstood when people said you're supposed to eat your lover out. I think that's right. You
Yeah.
gotta.
Maybe he was just ahead of the curve.
So, who's your favorite comics growing up? I know you mentioned quite a few, but who like?
Growing up, probably the first. I mean, I listened to Cosby when I was a kid, but probably the first big one, big influence was Gary Shandling, who everyone forgets about. And then when you bring his name up, people are like, "Oh, Shandling." And he was one of the ones that was all, like you said, self-deprecating, and he would say, if you're making fun of yourself, you're not hurting anyone.
Exactly.
And it's so funny because, like Nate Bargatze, who I think is fantastic, is really exploding right now. And he was on like CBS this morning, and they asked him, he said, "Well, if you make fun of yourself, you're not hurting anyone." They're like, "Oh," I'm like, people have been saying that forever. I mean, Nate's awesome, but come on, man. I
Yeah.
say that, nobody goes, "Oh."
But it's somebody big. Everybody's like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
that's
But
instant.
Shandling was huge, and then as I got older and got into it more, I just was like, Bill Burr just amazes me to this day.
He's amazing because his delivery, like he can be a complete asshole, but still be
Yeah,
funny.
yeah, exactly. And it's kind of like you look at like you really like styles. Like you all like a lot of different styles in music or whatever. It's very
Yeah.
few people that have one set thing. And I love these guys that do things I can't do. Like I love Mitch Hedberg. I can't write like that. That's
I
incredible.
love
He's
Mitch
kind of
Hedberg.
like the audio version of The Far Side.
Hmm.
If you look at like Gary Larson's old stuff, it's one panel, it's one line, and it's brilliant. How in the world do you do that? And that's like Hedberg and Stephen Wright. It's just one sentence and it's amazing.
I was
Now, I don't
lucky
know how
enough.
you build an hour doing one sentence at a time, but it's pretty incredible.
I was lucky enough to see Stephen Wright in concert.
Oh, how cool.
He was fucking amazing. He was on like he was like talking about how he always gets his luggage mixed up at the airport. And he's like, one time ended up wearing a dress, but that was before I got my luggage mixed up.
Nice.
And
Nice.
I'm like, the thing with Mitch I loved though is when he bombed, he third personed it. Like he broke the fourth wall. He's like, that joke sucked. Like that is,
Yeah.
like, that's what I loved about him. He was funny
And
even when he sucked.
and then you look at like Daniel Tosh before Tosh.0,
Yeah.
when he was really doing a ton of stand up and just how evil, wicked, dark, funny his stuff is. But he
Mhm.
gets away with it because he's so damn likable. And it's like he did this one that always sticks with me, and I'll butcher it because I butcher my own stuff. So what's the difference? But paraphrasing, he was talking about how he and his sister always play practical jokes on each other.
Uh-huh.
And so one time he replaced her mace with silly string. And he's like, so she's getting raped. And she's like, oh, Daniel. And I'm like, how awful is that? But he gets away with it because he's so damn funny and likable. And
It's the
people that go to see him
delivery.
know what
Yeah.
he's going to do. So it's not like, And that's the funny thing when people come to a show of mine and they're like disappointed or they're like, it's just not for me. I'm like, okay, that happens, but take a minute and look on YouTube and see if I'm the kind of style you like.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with any comedian in any club. Just, pop on for 3 minutes and take a look at some things. And if it's not for you, it's cool. But if it is, then buy a ticket and come.
See, that's why I
Yeah.
love I emailed this guy, and I'm like, "Hey, Bill, do you wanna be on my podcast?" Like, "You sure?"
Yeah. Well, because you were like, we're edgy, this, that. I'm like, yeah, that's me. I'm edgy.
Well, I more so wanted you to know that
Oh.
we can tackle any topic. We don't shy
Oh, bring it
away.
on. Let's go.
Like, we'll say or do anything, and the thing is people don't realize this. You can get offended by what people say, but are you really looking at the context of them saying it?
Well, and that's like so many people. I do this joke, and it's such a stupid joke that I love that all of a sudden it quit working.
Mhm.
And it was basically about my girlfriend's two cats, and the one quit using the litter box. And so I confront him, and he gets all indignant. He's like, hey, why do you assume it's me? There's two cats. Is it because I'm black? And then it's like, so I'm hunting for Whiskers to send the lab for DNA samples. He's marching through the living room with a sign in his teeth that says "Black fur matters." And then the other cat has a sign that says "All nine lives matter." I mean, this is an absurdly stupid, obvious joke, and some people would just get so tight. I had to quit doing it at a lot of places, and it's like, come on, man, this is obviously dumb. But
Yeah. That's like, I
I
don't
could
know.
tell by Pink's lack of reaction that
I
maybe I should
It's
not do it
because
anymore.
my stepdad would be like, "Ooh, Black Lives Matter," and
See,
it'd be a
exactly.
whole fucking thing. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know exactly who you're talking about. Like,
You know what's
Yeah, and
fucked
this
up
this
about that?
comedian I was working with, and this was a couple years ago. Really funny guy, Sean Donnelly, New York guy, love him. And we were working together, and he was doing this joke, and he just mentioned Trump, and the whole crowd got incredibly tight. He didn't really do anything, and then he did like three jokes, and then he stopped and he goes, "You guys just missed three jokes because you were so pissed off about one word," and it was true. And then they laughed. It's like, come on, man. Just because you hear a word, you get tight. You don't, like you said, you don't hear the context of what
yeah,
this person's doing.
Yeah, and there's
that
2.
is a funny joke. I'm just gonna say about the cats.
Yeah,
Like
it's
when you're like,
Thank you. I'm
oh,
quite proud of it.
Canadians don't
yeah, it's
laugh.
cute.
Canadians don't laugh, Bill.
Wait, back up. It's
Oh, I don't
cute.
laugh. I say, that's funny.
Well, that you know what? That's what comedians do. Anyone that's watched a lot of comedy don't they usually don't laugh as much. It's just like, that's funny.
Yeah, that's normally what I do. That's funny.
I'm weird, I laugh at everything,
Oh,
and
you weirdo.
I've been a fan of comedy my whole life, and I still laugh at the same jokes too, like, when the you want me in the crowd. That's what
Yeah, where the hell were you Saturday when I was recording a special? Bastard.
What have you watched, Shane Gillis or Theo Vaughn? Them 2 are hilarious too.
I've watched I've only watched a little of Theo. Shane, I was at a friend's place. He was actually letting me crash his place in LA, and he's like, "You've got to see this." And so we watched his newest special on Netflix, and I'm like, I can't believe I really like this guy. I really didn't think I would. I'm like, this is just funny. It's just stupid funny. It's
Yeah,
so
and he
cool that he
Stupid
makes
has.
funny's the
jokes
best.
What's
and he
that?
makes jokes that not very many people can get away with. Like
Yeah, and it's that likability thing. Once they like you and trust you, then it's like you and me bullshitting. If you insult me, I know it's in fun because we've
Yeah,
established like a relationship,
yeah. That's like Theo
except on a
Vaughn.
much bigger level with a lot more money.
That's like Theo Vaughn, he gets away with a lot of shit because it's the innocence of him saying it. Like, he's just being stupid. Like like, he's just having fun, he's
Yeah,
not meaning to hate anyone.
but and then on the flip side of it, look at Anthony Jeselnik,
Oh, fuck, I love
who,
him.
yeah, says some awesome, horrible things. And he's not even as likable. He's kind of cocky, arrogant, but it still pulls it off.
Yeah, like Daniel Tosh.
Yeah, but Tosh has this boyish playfulness. Jeselnik just has this cocky thing that it works.
Mhm.
Like, what was the joke? I think he may have posted it recently. I saw it somewhere. It was something about his sister isn't religious. She's an atheist because when she was a kid, their dad put a big crucifix above her headboard, and Then one night it fell and hit her dad in the back of the head. Horrible, hysterical, horrible. Got away with it.
Yeah,
Everyone
he
laughed.
told this one
It's
joke.
hysterical.
My favorite joke he told was he said, "I'm not very good with children. One time my buddy had me hold his baby and I dropped it on the ground. But in my defense, that's what he gets for asking me to be a pallbearer."
Yeah,
I'm like, oh my God.
I could never say that stuff. He
What
can,
is
and it
your
works.
favorite joke to tell?
My favorite joke
Is
to
that a
tell.
hard one to
Yeah, it
ask?
really is because I
I'm
have so
sorry.
much self-loathing. Um, you know, I started doing this joke that I really like, and I can't do the whole thing; it's too long. But it's basically about Uber, and it started with I got picked up. Like I had an Uber, and it gives you the driver's name. Driver's name was Diamond, which concerned me because I don't know if I have enough singles. Uh, and then it goes into this whole thing and how Uber drivers always give you advice, and it's just really fun, longer joke to do that I really enjoy. But it's funny because I've done it in places where they don't have Uber. That kind of doesn't work as quite as
You have to
well.
change it to Lyft.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, that's actually part of the joke too. But yeah, whatever. That's a fun one to do. I like talking about getting fired.
A
I
lot.
like talking about being an older, never married dude.
So
Um,
I have
you
a
know what I
story.
really enjoy doing, and this is just funny because I don't have any kids. I never wanted to be a parent,
Oh, no,
but I love
that's the
like
worst.
ripping or making fun of parenthood. And it's funny, like how many people start to get tight, and I'm like, obviously they're jokes, and there's nothing really mean, but I
They're
find it
tight
amazing.
because
Like
they made a fucking mistake and now they're living with it
exactly,
for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
yeah, and that's actually part of one of the jokes is like, how many kids do you have? How many do you like? And you still feed them all because you can't admit you made a couple mistakes. Um, but it's funny in that, like, I just heard this thing. It was someone down in Alabama where they just passed. They're doing all the IVF stuff, and everyone's all pissed. And the one guy, oh, it was Tommy Tuberville, senator, who's nuts, and he was talking about we need more kids. And I just want to be like, why?
We don't.
Don't we have too many?
Yeah, there's too
And
many
it's
of
like
us.
Yeah.
Look at
they're
the food.
everywhere, and it's like we're like eating. Not to get all soapboxy, but we have too many people on the planet. We're eating up all these resources. Whatever. Why do we need more kids?
We've
Yeah.
eaten so much resources, they're making artificial versions of the food we are supposed to be
Yeah.
eating.
And the thing is, like, so many people get tight, and it's like, first of all, it's a comedy show.
Yeah.
And is this really mean to say we have too many people and too many kids?
Like, life is a comedy, like, why can't we joke about certain things or make certain points? Like, I remember watching George Carlin say some of the most obscure, fucked up things, but then they make you think, like, maybe life is funnier and more fucked up
Well, and
than.
it's kind of like, I don't know, like John Oliver
Mhm.
and
Oh,
Jon
I love
Stewart
John
on their show.
Oliver.
Yeah, and on their shows, the difference is they make amazing, intelligent points. They back them up with facts, but at the
Yeah.
same time, they're hysterical. And I can make some points, but I can't always make them funny. So I'm not bringing it on stage until I can make it funny. Where you look at what they do, it's like you're laughing the whole time while you're agreeing, rather than so many comedians are just going up, making a point, everyone applauds. I'm like, well, where's the joke? This is supposed to be funny.
Well,
And it's like, well, we're not all as smart as those dudes.
what upsets me is when I make, like, a dark joke to a friend and they laugh and somebody outside of the circle gets offended and they're like, "Oh, so you think that action's funny?" I'm like, "No, I think the context of the joke is funny. I don't think what's happening in the joke is funny. I just think the delivery and the way it's told is funny."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Like, kinda
you
like some
see
of
it,
Anthony.
your friend fall and you laugh.
Yeah, that's kinda like
You don't
Anthony
want them
Jeselnik
to
thing.
be hurt, but it's so fucking funny that you did something stupid.
That's kinda like the Anthony Jeselnik thing. He says fucked up things and I don't wanna laugh, but the way he tells it is fucking hilarious.
And you go to it knowing, okay, Jeselnik's going to say some absurd shit,
Yeah.
uh, and he doesn't mean it. It's just absurd for fun.
He's like the
Uh,
modern day, Andrew Dice Clay.
ooh, I don't know. That's a leap.
Like, he's I think I love Andrew, but, like, he got really dark. Like, he got
Did
really
he?
bad. He
Yeah,
got
he
really
had some. When
bad.
he was big, I was never really into him, but God, what huge. He's doing arenas and stuff.
But some of the stuff he told was downright hateful sometimes,
Yeah.
like not funny in a way, but like hateful. Like, like he was like the stand-up comedy version of Howard Stern, bro. Like,
Still going too.
yeah, both of them. Did you
Yeah.
see that
So,
Howard Stern went
oh, sorry.
PC now?
You know what? I don't know about that.
Hmm.
I think he's just, I hate that term. And what cracks me up is how that became negative. And I'm like, all it is, all the thought behind PC and wokeness and all this stuff, everyone wants to label it so they can attack it.
Yeah.
All it is like, hey, be a fucking good dude and just treat people well. That's really all, and respect their thoughts. It's like when people get mad about not saying Merry Christmas. I'm like, it's not diminishing if I say Happy Holidays. It doesn't diminish Christmas. It's just including other people. And on the bigger point, who gives a shit? How does this affect anything? But people want to be angry. So
I
it's like,
agree
oh,
with
he's
you.
PC. Why? Because he cares about people's feelings?
I
Isn't that what we're
agree.
supposed to do?
I fully agree with you on
Look at
that
me being all
statement.
thoughtful.
I agree with you on that statement, but the only thing I disagree when it comes to like Howard is he changed the way he is, and I respect him for that, and I love that for him. But now he's going after other people. Like he's like, oh, Joe Rogan should be canceled for some of the things he says. I'm like, bro, you're fucking Howard
Did
Stern.
he actually say he should be canceled?
He said that his show should be taken off of Spotify, I think he said, because of some of the stuff he said about COVID.
Well, you know what? And again, I'm all obviously free speech and stuff, but I hate the fact that anyone can put anything out, know it's a lie, and just keep pushing it and people buy it. And I don't know how you would regulate that, but it's really frustrating. It's kind of like way back before the 2016 election, and Newt Gingrich was the first person I heard use the phrase alternative facts. And it was during an interview, and the interviewer's like, but that's not real. That's not what the facts are. And Gingrich was, but that's how it feels. And it's like, but how it feels in reality are two different, that doesn't matter. But they kind of made that acceptable.
Alternative facts is just a way to soften the word lie.
Lie. Yeah, exactly. But it became acceptable, and that's what's scary. And for all these places to put it out, things like and again, you can't, I don't know how you would regulate it, but it's frustrating to see so many people buy into what's obvious lies and proof like shown repeatedly that they're lies and it doesn't matter. And I'm not sure how this relates to comedy, but I'm pretending that I'm intelligent right now. So we're going with it.
Well, that's pretty much what Joe Rogan's argument was. Joe Rogan's like, I'm a fucking comic stoner with a microphone. Like, I'm not claiming I know this shit. I'm just interviewing people and talking about shit.
Yeah, it's amazing how big he became.
Right? But he was kind of big when he started the podcast because he did Fear Factor and all that shit.
You know what? Which I thought I never watched. But what's really funny is I never watched news radio when it came out. And I heard so many people talk about it. So I started watching it on whatever streaming it's on. And it really wasn't for me. But I'm like, oh my God, Rogan got that when he was 25. That's crazy.
Damn.
I didn't even know he was on it. It's young Joe Rogan.
I didn't even know that he was doing that. I love Joe, man. His style. Like, he'll talk to anyone. He don't give a fuck who you are. He recently invited Cat Williams on, and Cat Williams just talked shit on him last week.
Good.
He's like, I would love to have him on. He's like, I'd love to talk about our differences. And that's kind of how I am. I'm not that big of a scale. Fuck. I'm like you in the podcast world. Like, I'm.
Oh, dude. I'm sorry.
I love you. I'm just kidding, bro. But
I love how Pig's just like,
sad.
Feel so bad for the man.
You are going to go down to your dungeon and just sit in your swing and cry.
Yeah.
I'm glad this has been very uplifting. I'm not sure to who, but someone.
Bro,
someone will enjoy this.
I would love to have you on more often because you're a fun person.
Whenever. This is fun.
We do podcast lives on Mondays, around 9:30.
9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Anyone and everyone's welcome to join. There's a link in the description every Monday.
Oh, hit me up. Yeah. Send me the link and stuff because I'm not real bright. But yeah, you guys are a ball. I appreciate you letting me play with you. I've learned a lot. Again, the positives of depression, the hierarchy
I love
of
playing
sexual
with
harassment. I got that.
I love
what else did we learn?
See, I ain't gay, but I have a thing for Sylvester Stallone, and you're the closest thing I can find.
I haven't gotten that before. I got Stallone. I got What was the other one I was getting
Stallone
on?
in Rocky
Springsteen, which I think
after
is
he's been punched
hysterical.
in the face.
Bro, I love that joke you tell where you're like, people tell me I look like Rocky, like 2 or
Oh
30th
yeah.
round.
But you know what else I've gotten? I got Sean Penn. Some lady said Steve Buscemi. I'm like, oh, and she's like, no, that's a compliment.
That's
I'm like,
me.
no, it's not. And then a
No.
friend of mine's just like, because I didn't have the facial hair years ago, and when I grew it, he's like, you know what you look like? You kind of look like Al Pacino's brother if his brother was a pussy. I'm like, damn it, I would be mad, but that's hysterical.
Bro,
Uh,
put that in your Tinder profile.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
I have a story for you. I do tell this in my stand-up, but I might be removing it since I'm just going to tell it now. You're going to laugh at this. Be lucky you got fired the way you did. I was working at a truck stop in the kitchen, and
Oh,
they had roller grills. Now, I was working there and shit, and I got called to the office one day. Now, I had a photo taken of me that was just as a joke, but I was in uniform and I was in the kitchen. So they take me to the office, I'm sorry, and they're like, so, and then they show me the photo. Now, the photo in question is I bet an employee that I could fit more hot dogs in my mouth than them. So this photo is of me with 8 hot dogs in my mouth, and they showed it to me, and apparently somebody posted it on Twitter and fucking tagged news companies and fucking Pilot and shit
no way.
because that's where I worked at the time.
You worked at Pilot? Aw.
I worked there. I don't talk about where I publicly work.
aw.
I don't talk about
Oh,
where I
I
publicly
know.
work now.
I've been there many a time.
But I got canned for 8 wieners in my mouth. Now that I decided to go with Grace because that is now my Tinder profile picture. That is
Nice.
yeah, I get swipes all the time. But I also made it my profile picture on Facebook for a little while, not anymore. And then fast forward at the time, I don't really talk about where I work now after being fired. I don't do that. Um, but I went and moved to Phoenix, Arizona, and I saw a job opening for the same place. So I went there. They hired me immediately due to all my experience. But they're like, why were you fired? And I'm like, I'll be straight up, stupid reasons. They're like, okay. They're like, you can't start for a week when they called me. They're like, we were going to have you start tomorrow, but we're having problems. They
No.
called me to the office a week later after I was working on my whole shift. It was towards the end of my shift. They called me to the office and they're like, so we found out why you were fired. I'm like, why? And they're like, they sent us the photo from the corporate office. They still had it a year and a half
That's
later,
just,
bro.
first of all, it's amazing that Pilot has a corporate office. And you made corporate. Congratulations.
Yeah, the HR
Yeah.
department has it on their computer somewhere, probably as a screensaver.
Well, here's the thing. 7 wieners would have been tasteful, but you
Yeah.
went 8. You really overdid it.
Yeah, it was 8.
You did too much.
Well, I think the problem was, and I'm not joking when I say this, I think the problem was there was 9 members of corporate. So like somebody was left out on that raise, you know what I mean? Like but what's weird is
You
this is
got to
just
think these things through.
well, the weird thing is I've seen people keep their job, and I'm not saying at this particular job, but like at other jobs, I've seen people keep their job for less.
Yeah.
I kept
Like
my job.
What'd you do?
I worked in a pharmacy, and the one guy I used to like razz all the time and like slap him on the ass, and like I was really bad. And I took all the medical pamphlets, cut them apart, printed off a picture of him where he's like jumping in the air because I just put his face on a little kid for bedwetting. And then also put in a little bit about erectile dysfunction and all this kind of stuff. And then I was like, this is really funny. I made my own pamphlet for David. And I showed everybody in the store, and they're like, that's really funny. And then the one old lady put it under the till. And then I forgot about it. And then I came into work like a couple days later, and they're like, can we talk to you? And I'm like, sure. And they're like, so something came up, and they pull out this pamphlet, and I see it, and I'm like, oh yeah? And they're like, "So, was this you?" And I'm like, "If I say yes, can I keep it?" And they're like, "No." And I'm like, "Yes." Like, I can't keep a straight face. So then they sent me home for a week. I got paid, so I used to
Nice.
refer to it as my paid vacation.
Sure.
But yeah, I was not allowed to work at other
Aw.
pharmacies anymore.
Aw.
For a
You guys should have
joke.
switched jobs.
It was sad. I know, right? Like, you put your hot dogs in your mouth, and I'll sexually
Just switch.
harass
You go to
people.
pilot, you go to the pharmacy, everybody wins.
Well,
Yeah.
you know what's crazy is my GM was like showing me this photo. I'm like, why am I getting fired? He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, that's just how I eat my lunch. Like, I didn't. They thought I was putting them back on the roller grill. I'm like, what kind of psycho do you think I am? Like, there's hot dogs.
Oh.
There's hot dogs I've seen far worse than that while they were on the
No
roller
kidding.
grill. Like, I don't like fast like gas station food idea of it just sitting out in a case anybody can grab because anybody can
Yeah.
just go and put it back.
Ew.
Yeah.
I
Think
gotta
about it
say,
though.
I
Anybody
eat at
could.
way too many gas stations.
Well, I actually walked by the soup bar at
You might
that
not
job.
anymore.
At that
Well, I
job,
never go for the hot dogs.
well, at that job, we have a hot case up front where they take shit out of, and then we have a soup bar where anybody can take out of. And I saw somebody with a spoon eating out of the soup well. I had to yell
No.
at him. Yeah, I had to yell at him and
Oh,
throw
you
in the
should have
soup.
said hi.
No.
It was you. I'm just trying to tell you not to do it again. Oh no, I ended up taking the soup and I had to throw it away, obviously. But how many times has that happened that we haven't seen it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, there's gross
That's
people.
concerning.
When
Blech.
I would go back, I go back to Cleveland a lot. I still work that region a lot, and I have a place to stay there. And there's this one gas station. You know how gas stations have stepped up,
Yeah,
and they have their little deli thing. And I could go and get a salad with grilled chicken that was really good, but it depended on who was working. And now and that good person's gone. And it's just like the salad quality of gas stations has really dropped. I'm
it
quite
has.
upset. I'm kind of shocked.
They went from using the dark leafy greens to now they just use food garnish in most gas stations. They do. That lettuce they use, that dark lettuce that a lot of the places use, it isn't like spinach or nothing. It's the garnish they put on top of food.
We should do a hierarchy of gas station food.
Yeah, and like rank them.
Yeah, yeah. There's
Now,
Get Go. Everyone loves Sheets. I really like Get Go more. But
I'm weird because I've been trying to like eat a little healthier and like
oh,
salads and shit's my go-to. But like,
yeah,
I'll tell him the name of your dog.
I'm
This is
glued to your dog.
Kevin.
Kevin, nice.
Yeah. I
Do you
have
ever,
5 dogs, so
do you ever,
Oh, I'm so
I'm
jealous.
crazy,
Oh,
right?
I'm so
I'm living the
jealous.
dream.
No kidding, you
and they're
are.
and they all have human names, so it sounds like she's running an adoption clinic. She was like, she was like, "Hey, Kevin, quit shitting on the floor." Like her neighbors think she's got people with dementia in her house.
I'm
Like,
so jealous. Damn it.
how many
Yeah,
dogs you got?
they're good.
I have none because I'm never home.
Ah,
And that's the
oh.
first thing I want to do when I quit traveling, though I don't know if I'm gonna, is just get a dog.
Do you
And I
ever
know.
Well,
I like big dogs a lot.
do you
So
ever do shows out in this area? I know there's not much, or Pittsburgh or anywhere like that.
I know I've done stuff near Wheeling. I'm actually doing, although I don't think it's near Wheeling, I'm doing Cumberland, Maryland. I don't think that's real close to you.
No, that's the opposite
Um,
direction.
yeah, I don't know. It's Maryland, West Virginia. You got a big damn state.
Oh, I thought you meant like Baltimore, Maryland.
No, Cumberland is on the West Virginia border. I forget what town it is.
I've never been there, so it might be close. I might go.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
I'll come
are
see
you
you.
going to Canada at all?
I don't have anything on Canada on the books yet. You know what I did see once? I did right when, because US opened up before Canada, and because you guys, believe in science. And so
We
I was
don't.
doing a thing out in Winnipeg. It had postponed, and then they finally decided to do it, and there was still some restriction. It just opened, and I was at the Winnipeg airport, and I noticed this social distance sign, and it was a picture of like the man symbol that you see out bathrooms, a woman symbol that you see outside of bathrooms, and in between was a polar bear, and it said keep a polar bear distance apart. It's like that's the metric system. No wonder it never
Uh,
caught on here. I
Bro,
mean, it's
yeah,
great
one polar
until
bear
winter when
length.
everyone hibernates.
you should check out Australia. It's like one kangaroo jump away. I actually have a former co-host. He still comes on from time to time. He's from Australia.
Haven't been. Need to go. Let's take this on the road.
Let's do it. Hey, by the way, Bill, I would like, since we talked about radio and you're used to doing radio, we do have a radio station coming.
Shut up.
Not Pink Sock Podcast. It is called wpot.live. Now, it is cannabis friendly. I don't know if you're a cannabis friendly guy, but you don't have to be.
I'm friendly. You know what, though? I never liked the smell of it, so I never got into it. But gummies, I had someone gave me some gummies at a show, and I had them, and I'm like, this didn't do anything. And then there was another show, and I got some gummies, and I'm like, whatever, someone else gave me them. And then I went to the gas station with my friend before we were going back to the hotel, and I'm sitting there fumbling with everything. I'm giggling. The cashier's looking at me like, you're an idiot. And I'm like, how come I'm struggling getting money out and all this stuff? And I didn't think anything. I got home. It's like, no, you're wasted, asshole. It's like, oh, yeah, that was kind of fun.
Next time
So I can do gummies, but get this. I'm totally sidetracking. I don't know why I find this funny, but they legalized it in Jersey. And there's this park right by my place where I'll walk because I'm too lazy to run. And I'm going, and there's this lady with a cigarette in one hand and a joint in the other. And I just don't know why I find that fun so funny. I'm like, is the cigarette the chaser? How's that work?
Must be, dude.
I need to learn a lot about pot, obviously.
You do. And actually, we are big.
You do.
We are cannabis advocates here. And honestly, I was part of the group. They're called the Weed Suit Heroes. I was a part of them, and they helped legalize it in the state of Ohio.
Amazing. It finally got legalized.
Yes, but you can't get it because recreational dispensaries aren't around. But anyway.
Well, they will be. It's the same thing happens everywhere. It takes a minute.
Yeah.
You know?
But I actually do something right now that might help you with the scent if you want to try cannabis. It's dry herb vaporizing. You don't light it with a lighter or nothing. You vape it, and it's the dry herb.
Huh.
And you don't.
I personally don't like that because the high is different.
Oh, really?
High is different.
Yeah. It's it's weird to me. And I'm like, am I high? Like, it's like back to
you have to ask? What fun is that?
The
only thing is I never got into
I'm
it,
confused.
but it's so much less harmful and dangerous than alcohol. The whole thing against it, I was like, why? What's the big deal?
And it has a lot of medicinal benefits if you get the right cannabinoids within the plant. Like, it cures cancer and shit. Like,
this is what disappoints me about Ohio legalizing is whenever you were driving to Michigan, as you were getting close to the border, all you had were like weed billboards. Because you couldn't get it in Ohio. Now those are going to go away. There was this one, and I'll never forget it. It was called Nature's Remedy, and it said, "We deliver." I'm like, Uber smokes.
That's how it was when I lived in Arizona, bro. They would deliver to your door.
Yeah, that's awesome.
They also had it was a dispensary / restaurant, and it was an edibles bar.
Oh, what a great idea.
You would walk in and you're like, I would like a pizza, 100 milligrams. I would like each thing was an edible.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And it was literally food. Like, it was pizza, burgers, shit like that.
Is it still there? Is it killing it? That's a great idea.
It's called Mint Cafe. Now, it's not a sit down restaurant. You have to take the shit home with you. But you can buy, if you're a medical patient in any state, you can get up to 1,000 milligrams. But
dude, you should open up one of these in a pilot.
Bro, that's a good idea.
And then that picture would make a lot more sense to a lot more people.
Bro, you know what I was gonna do? I was gonna apply for Oscar Mayer and send a picture of that and see if I can get the job. Just
basically, your career is gonna revolve around wieners.
No, I don't want to be known as the wiener guy. I
don't know. Sounds like you've labeled yourself.
Yeah.
You might have to just run with it.
I'm more of the stoner guy, man. But yeah, with wpot.live, if you want to help us be a part of that, or you want to at least show up on one of our shows and shit, you're more than welcome.
I'll show up.
Yeah,
I'll learn.
You're a whore for publicity. You're doing this.
Oh yeah, I'm a whore for a lot of things.
Right.
But I'll work on my Canadian smile. That doesn't feel right.
If you are available, this is actually going to premiere on the 2nd of March. If you want to show up, if you want to show up Monday night and just hang out with us and bullshit about whatever, you're more than welcome.
Monday the 4th.
Monday
the 4th. Tilt my head like a dog.
Monday the 5th, I think. No,
4th. 5th. All right, whatever it is. Actually, I think I'm sitting in Cleveland before I make a long road trip.
4th. Sorry, I looked at the wrong month.
Ha!
You're right. You're right.
You didn't tilt your head far
I know,
enough.
because
That's the
I'm not used to
problem.
hearing the "you're right" thing very often.
The fourth
He's a man. Men aren't used to that.
or the fifth.
So are you full-blown Canadian? Because your mouth doesn't like.
Yeah, right? I know. It's because my mom married an American when I was 14.
Oh, okay. You learned.
So I was not done growing, right? So it kind of, the hinges grew together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Bill,
That's a very Terrence and Phillip thing that now I understand.
we
Yeah.
recently did an episode about this, but I think you'd find this interesting. Pink just converted me into her religion. Ever heard of Pastafarianism?
Never.
They believe in the flying spaghetti monster.
Oh, who
Amen.
doesn't? I have no idea what we're talking about. I'm
It's
liking this.
actually a parody, but it's also
I'm into this.
an actual religion too. They wear
Yeah, I
strainers.
was like,
They wear strainers
it's a
on their
real
head, and they
thing.
say that they believe in the flying spaghetti
Strainers
monster.
on their head.
Well, it's kind of funny
It's
because
called a colander, damn it. Get it right. Don't
yeah.
disrespect.
The Gospel of the Flying Spaghetti Monster.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now,
Amen.
what's crazy about it is they're using this as saying that religious freedoms. If you can put Jesus
Yeah.
up at a government facility, you got to put the flying spaghetti monster too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No matter how ridiculous it
There's
might
Adam being touched by his noodly
Oh my
appendage.
God.
Yeah.
So, do you want to
That's
become an ordained
amazing.
minister with us?
Oh, yeah, I'll look into it. I'll look into it. It's so funny,
You're
like,
into me.
because this is what I always wondered, and I was never smart enough to make a bit out of it, but Burr actually did. And he's talking about letting go of his religion because he was watching like Scientology stuff and making fun of how stupid it is.
Yeah.
And then he starts questioning like his Christian upbringing, and he's like, all right, it's the same. If you start looking at the story, you're like, come on, man.
Yeah, that's where I was. Like, I don't really have a religion, and I don't like
Yeah, I
making
don't
fun of them because a lot of people believe what they believe in. But I make fun of Catholicism because they can't get away with what they do. But with this, the guy that they interviewed in a video I saw, they're like, "So you don't really believe in the flying spaghetti monster?" And the guy replied with, "What's so unbelievable about a invisible being in the sky judging me?"
Yeah, Ricky Gervais does a lot of
Yeah.
stuff on that too. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, "Why not believe what you want to believe? Fuck it." Also, their heaven has a fucking stripper factory and a beer volcano.
It's true. And our hell has a flat beer volcano and a stripper factory with STDs.
That's their
So wait
hell.
a minute. So stripper factories are both places?
Yes, but one has
Yeah.
STDs. I got a question though, Pink. You get an STD in
Yeah.
hell, you're already dead. Like, are you just suffering the symptoms of it until you see a hell doctor? Or like, how's
Nah.
that work?
Nah, the crabs fall off.
The
Oh,
It's fine.
you know what's so awesome about that is just how casually she says it. Man,
Oh, like, no, they just fall off. It's fine. I
See,
mean, there's
Bill,
lingerers, but we call
that's
them
what we call
groupies.
comedy. That's what
it was impressive. Very impressive.
you can learn a thing or two from
I
Pink.
am
Me
learning a
too.
lot in this time together.
You know
So
how to Canadian smile?
I know.
you know how to Canadian smile, you know to do all that shit. But yeah,
I know. It gives me something to work on.
but you want to know what's crazy about we were talking about social media the other day.
Uh,
We actually our radio thing has been censored from Facebook already. We are not allowed posting.
already?
We're not allowed posting the link. We're not allowed none of that.
Really?
Nobody can
Wow.
comment
How'd you
about
guys
it
do that? How'd you
because
get censored so fast?
we're preaching human autonomy, which is free speech,
There's all sorts of garbage on there.
right? I mean, I saw a full
Hmm.
on butthole. I'm not complaining, but I saw I saw a butthole on Facebook the other
I'm
day.
not
It
complaining.
was
You think
live.
maybe Zuckerberg saw your picture from Pilot and it's just haunted you
Yeah.
and everything you do?
He probably has. That's why I'm kind of trying to take it out of my before I become too big or whatever, because I don't want to be known as just the Wiener King. Fucking come out like fucking Tiger King. Did you see that Joe Exotic? By the way, I have ADHD, so here you go.
I hadn't noticed, but go ahead.
Did you see Joe Exotic commented on Machine Gun Kelly's post?
No.
Machine Gun Kelly posted himself shirtless with his new tattoo. Joe Exotic commented, he's like a couple tigers and a little bit of meth in your mind.
Isn't he in jail?
Yeah, he can actually tweet and comment on Instagram from jail because
That's
he gets.
funny.
You know how you have the books where people give you money or you work in prison for the money?
Right.
Yeah.
He does that, but his hours that he gets is on social media. He gets like an hour or
Huh.
two on like a tablet.
You know what? I gotta say, I can understand that.
Yeah, social
Yeah,
interaction.
it gives you some kind of interaction
Yeah.
with the world.
As long as you're not like the Unabomber or whatever, I can see where you're allowed on social media.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The dude's just in there for animal cruelty, which is
Ugh.
fucked up, but
Yeah,
I
it's
thought he like murdered someone.
no,
Or
that they actually made a season 2.
I didn't watch the see. I just like when I heard about it, I'm like, this is too disturbing for me. I can't watch cruelty. I cannot. Ugh.
Well, they did a season 2, and what happened was all the animal cruelty shit happened when Joe didn't even own the zoo. He just was a hired person, an employee or whatever. But the hit that he supposedly put on somebody was actually done by another dude who admitted to doing it and lying in court. So now it's a big deal. And then after season 2 was released, it came out that Carol Baskin's husband that died is actually still alive in Cuba. They found him. Yeah, they found him.
oh.
Like that shit is wild, bro. Like
Right.
I don't know. I guess I just love the train wreck of society, so that's why I
I
watch it.
well, we are a society that loves carnies.
Yeah,
So
like we watched this dude who had a mullet, owned a fucking zoo, had a limp, and he married 2 straight men.
well, to be fair, we didn't watch it. You watched it,
I
and a
watched.
few
Yeah,
million other people.
I was
I
like,
had nothing to do with this.
I kind of meant we as a society as
I
like
know, but
most
that's the
people.
thing is like how many times if you're on Netflix or Prime or whatever, and you're looking, you're like, okay, these are the most popular things trending, and you're like, stupid, stupid, stupid,
Yeah,
stupid.
it's
Maybe I'm just weird.
it's the idiocracy. I wonder if what would
Yeah,
happen if we got a VPN and went to another country on the VPN and went on Netflix and saw the recommended. See if it's the same.
I don't know. Then you get K-pop and all that stuff,
we need to
anime.
watch Idiocracy and take
Oh,
fucking note of what
oh,
they try to preach in that movie.
scary how dead
Just
zone that is.
read a book.
You know what's
Like,
wild about idiocracy?
just
Crocs were created for that movie.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Crocs were
Oh my god,
invented for
that's
that movie, and
funny.
they became huge a few months after the movie was released.
Oh my god, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so they pretty much created idiocracy in real time.
Did Gatorade sales explode or decline
I
after
think
that?
they exploded in that period.
Yeah.
Gatorade, I think Body Armor was the thing that
Brondo.
blew up.
To be
Ever,
fair, who doesn't love Terry Crews? Come on.
I love Terry
Right?
Crews.
Love Terry. As soon as I saw him on Everybody Hates Chris, I'm like, who is this guy? And then
Yeah,
he's just exploded from there,
isn't it
which might
also
be before your time.
Terry Crews was also in Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Hmm.
Yeah, I never watched that show. Was it good?
Oh, it's really good.
Yeah.
Because I think they just stuck that on Netflix too.
Do you
The
like
second or whatever season, the recent one where they're all like, police are bad. They really like had to push that too far. Like it's like, yes, we get it. Police are bad. Okay, let's just
Can
continue
you do
on
that
uh,
with
thing again,
this.
please?
Police are bad. That's
How
I
what
was
think
I
she's
how
do
did
when
they
milking
I'm
have
mad
time.
at
I don't know
no?
what she's doing.
people.
She's driving a
I'm
very little
milking
police car. That's why
things.
they're so angry.
Yeah.
A little clown police car.
Yeah, exactly.
I never understood the police that are on bicycles, like motorcycles.
We have
Like,
we have bike police here,
Yeah. You know what you
like
need?
downtown.
Speaking of, the later seasons sucked, but the early seasons, Reno 911.
I love that.
Oh,
That teaches
that's
you
a
about
good
bike cops.
show. Yeah.
Classic.
Did you ever
So yeah,
watch
we
the
have bike
movie?
cops here.
They made 2 new movies. Did you
I
watch them?
watched the one movie. I was kind of disappointed. I didn't watch the second one. I was all excited because I loved that show. But
Did you ever watch the new Borat?
the second one with Giuliani, or there's another one.
Yes, the
The one with
second one.
Giuliani. Yeah, I did see it. Yeah.
He was like, "I brought my 16-year-old daughter to try to talk to Trump," and he's freaking
Hysterical.
dressed up like Donald Trump. That one was
Borat's crazy.
that one's
Yeah.
crazy because how is Giuliani not on How to Catch a Predator after that? Like
And I think the other thing that's funny is he's owed a lot of money
yep,
by his number one client, who's not going to pay him, hasn't paid him, not going to pay him. He's just like dead.
damn,
Yeah, damn shame.
damn. Maybe we shouldn't talk about
You know what's
that.
crazy? Oh God, I'm running low on battery. You know what's crazy is I watched this. I was trying to watch. I actually talk about it a little bit in stand, but I'm trying to watch documentaries
Mhm.
because who wants to read? And there was this documentary. It's New York versus the mob, and it was how in the early '80s, I think it was the early '80s, how the mob was like controlling New York and how like the the DA and everything got judges to finally give them court orders to allow them to bug these mob bosses, and that's how they started taking down the mob. And one of the DAs, young DA, really going after him was Rudy Giuliani, and they're showing these videos and like, who is this sharp dude? I mean, he
Sure.
was really on top of it, and
Damn.
then he became
I
who
don't
he is.
believe it. No,
Well, he
no.
also became really, I guess, when he was mayor, he started off as great and then just got more power hungry, power hungry, power hungry. I guess by the end, everyone was really hating him. I don't know how true it is. I didn't live
See,
here.
money
So
and power can either make you or break you as
that's
a
why
person.
I refuse to be successful.
Oh, you can be funny. You just
You're
choose.
like, I love being mediocre.
Me, I've
I'm
made
in
a
the
life
middle.
of being mediocre.
You know what we
Sure,
could.
you could succeed, but then people are going to expect you to be smart. Come on.
You know what we could do. We can get you back on radio. We could do a sports show. I'm not into sports, so that'd be fun.
A
Oh, good. I can
sports
make shit up.
comedy show.
Like I
I
don't even
can
know
make
anything
shit.
about sports. I prefer men in spandex. I watch pro wrestling. Like,
There we go.
do you ever watch pro wrestling, or were you more of like a football?
No, but I have all these friends that love pro wrestling. It's funny that this one friend that I would work with, um, I always made a deal. It's like I'll pay for all the gas and stuff if he drives, and he just has all these like wrestling podcasts. I'm like, dude, you're killing me. But that's his thing, man.
You know what I love is I love when people are like, it's fake, right? I'm like, you mean to tell me that motherfucker's not an Undertaker? Like what the like, it's the most ridiculous characters. Of course it's
Oh
most
yeah,
movies are fake. Like
Yeah.
and what's
movies are
crazy is
fake.
and yeah,
Yeah,
and
I was like, that is extremely true.
unlike the movies though, they do their own stunts
Hmm.
live in real time, man. But some of the shit in there is
It's just
fucking
a
weird.
soap opera for dudes. Whatever.
It is. Or
Yeah.
women.
Who
I mean,
cares?
there are
If you're
dudes in
into it, you're
spandex.
into it.
Trying to explain pro wrestling to people though that aren't into it and try to sound straight is really hard. Um, you're like, hear
You
me
know
out.
what? Pick a lane, man.
Like, hear me out. There's dudes who are half naked, greased up, in baby oil. Let me finish. They're
Yeah.
fighting, all right? But it's no different than
They're
like
fighting.
it's no different
Yeah.
than like real fighting though. They're half dressed too.
I don't know that you've got anyone really fighting in yellow speedos and boots. So that's just really old reference back to old Hulk Hogan. But again,
Yeah.
You know what's
Yeah,
that's what
that's
it
great?
really
exactly
took off.
who I had in my
Yeah,
mind
You
because
when
know
I
you
what's
mean,
said
I
that.
great?
I was
sometimes I
like,
forget it, but I mean that was classic. That's how the whole thing really
You know what's
exploded.
really
So
gross though? In the early 2000s and even late 2000s, Ric Flair was still wrestling and wearing the same exact outfit he was
uh,
wearing in his youth. He was like in his 50s or 60s wearing a fucking robe and Speedos. That's all he was wearing. I'm like,
you know what? You go with what got you there, man.
yeah, but that's a lot of flab. Like, I respect him as a person. I love him as a wrestler. I doubt he's listening to this, but I love you, Rick. But put some goddamn clothes on, bro. Like, that is, you look very uncomfortable talking about wrestling. Let's keep talking about it.
I don't know, but my battery's starting to die, so I could
All right,
like cut out on you.
all right. Let's
no, plug your phone in.
let's end it
It's on
here.
my laptop, but
We talked about your comedy career and we talked about all of your stuff. You are more than welcome back, though. Do you have a
cool. I'm
Facebook?
in.
Where can we find you?
It's just my name on pretty much everything. It's my website is billboronkay.com. It's also Bill Boro, in case
Okay.
adding the NKAY is too much work.
I was right. I
Same
said
thing
your
on
name is
Twitter,
Bill
on Facebook.
Boronkay, and she said Boronkay.
Yeah, I did.
No, it doesn't matter.
I
I always
butchered
just tell
it.
people
I was
slur.
like,
It doesn't matter.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
whatever.
go visit Bill
Just
Boro.
some old.
Go visit
Visit
BillBoro.com.
me.
But
visit
that
him.
that
Go
was
to his house and find where he
Fun.
lives
that
Join
was
me.
and visit him.
5-time Emmy Award winner,
Woo! What a big
sports
deal.
broadcaster and stand-up comedian Bill Boronkay, and my new friend.
Yeah.
Handshake.
We're coming to
Aw.
Canada.
Love y'all, and as
Yeah.
always,
You
live
guys are
long,
awesome.
rock hard.